Idle people turn computers off. Aye. Ah. All right, call your name out, or say your name, say here, whatever, however we do this, I don't know. Whoa. Alexandra? Is it here? Dylan? Dylan over here. Dylan over here. Oh, Spencer? That out loud. Camry? Camry? Danielle? Cheyenne? McKenna?
Here.
Nathaniel?
Here.
Grant?
Here.
Michael?
Here.
Jacob?
Here.
George?
Here.
Braden? Here. Madison? Patty? No. Corbin?
Here.
Carson? Jonathan? Shelby?
Here.
Luke?
Here.
Atika? That may or may not be the last time I do that. It's required to hand in stuff on Friday, well, required, whether it's a good way to take up time. The reason they do it is for financial aid purposes, I believe, so that if somebody stops coming to class, they can go back and get financial aid from them and do a bunch of stuff with or getting it back. I had issues at my last position. There would be students who would show up for the first 2 weeks. So they'd be attending classes, and then after the 2 weeks, like, they got their full financial aid. Then they would never show up again. So they played the game, they got the money, they took the money, and they basically made money off it. Now, it was loans, so they took it back somehow. And they'd fill all the classes, and then not only would we allow them back into the college the next semester, we would give them financial aid. It's like, why would you do that? It doesn't matter whether you fail if you tried or if you failed because you didn't show up, you shouldn't get financial aid. Am I right? Okay, not even good. Off the soapbox. Here we go. Anybody have any questions? I'm laughing inside and externally. What's the view here? Speaker view. Got that. I need to share content, sharing content. There we go. Cool. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Cool. All right. So today is going to be organizations that are related to fitness, kind of more general fitness. So we'll start off with the big one, or one of the big ones, the American College of Sports Medicine, also known as ACSM. So there's its seal. So founded in 1954, so it's been around quite a while. So their mission is to advances and integrates scientific research and literature so that it can provide education as well as practical applications of exercise science and sports medicine as a whole. So that sports medicine can include a lot of different fields. Physical therapy, occupational therapy, could be anything clinical, nursing, chiropractic medicine, it could be physician, athletic training. So anything to deal with sports medicine, health, fitness, nutrition. There's a lot of different fields, subfields that it can entail. Probably one of the largest national conferences out of all the organizations that we'll touch on over the next few weeks. I can't remember how many thousands there were. Usually there's 30,000, 40,000 that'll go to national conferences. Have them all over the country. In fact, all these organizations are going to have some type of conferences, meetings. Could be national, could be international, could be local, maybe within a certain region of a state, could be just state, or it could be regional in terms of the country. So maybe the Northeast somewhere, the Midwest, the South. So again, some of the professionals for this organization that would be beneficial for clinicians. So any type of doctors, anyone in a clinical or hospital setting. Academicians, funny term. Sometimes academians, maybe. Students, professional or professors, instructors, health and fitness professionals, personal trainers, group instructors, even yoga instructors or fitness centers, YMCA directors, and any scientists within the field. That can range to biology, maybe biochemistry, physiologists, so let's go to memberships, and I believe the links should be working, so hopefully. Okay. So their website is acsm.org, and you can look at memberships. Actually, there's a lot of different resources in all of these websites. For I think all the good organizations are going to have a well-constructed website, at least the ones that I've found. Very few of them have kind of subpar websites, so they're pretty easy to navigate for the most part. So for the memberships, and the reason I list the costs is because if you look at the differences between a student and a professional, it's quite a bit. In fact, the student one has gone down over the years. It used to be $40 and even just 10 or so years ago. Now it's down to $10. So I don't know if they're changing that because they're just trying to get more students involved with stuff that's going on. In fact, up at the top of the page, you can see that they have COVID updates, resources. They obviously had to cancel their national conference this past year. That was supposed to be the first week of June. And most of the regional conferences have been online, virtual stuff. So anyway, see there. For a student membership and $10 per year, you can get almost the same benefits as a professional. Almost, except voting privileges. You do have to get digital-only copies of some material, but most people tend to prefer that. It does tend to be a little cheaper because some of the organizations are now charging for print copies. Usually it's like $30 or $40 extra. But anyway, but as you move along, you have to bump up your membership to professional once you graduate. But student is, I mean, as long as you're a student in some type of health field, health major, should be fine. Health, nutrition, clinical, whatever it might be. $10 a year isn't too bad. It's 2 pitchers of beer on a special night. For these websites, you can look through, and I'm going to have the links up on Blackboard. Actually, PowerPoints will be up on Blackboard. So you can click the links and navigate the websites. We'll be back to the PowerPoint. So the student membership, Students Alliance. Actually, I want to get back. The Alliance professional one, making the determination for that, just based upon what types of benefits you would like to have, if you're not an actual student in that case. So that's really the delineation there. All right. Regional chapters. So not only could you be a member of the national big mothership of ACSM, and some other organizations too are like this. There are regional chapters. So if you find a region that is closest to you, here it would be the North or the Midwest, Midwest, or you could do the Northeast. We're kind of in the middle there, where you could maybe go to both of them. Alaska, the Central States, Greater New York, Mid-Atlantic, Midwest, New England, Northland, Northwest, Rocky Mountains, Southeast, Southwest, and Texas. Texas has their own because it's Texas. And Alaska is just way up there. Anyway, I think memberships for the regional chapters usually $20, $30, something like that for students. So these ones are nice conferences because they're nice and relaxed. If you want to go to one to kind of introduce yourself to conferences, if you haven't been to one, a regional conference is a good one to go to. In any organization, just not ACSM, but any organization, find something small. Again, it's a little bit more relaxed, and there's a lot of students that go. So mostly your age, not old farts like me, so it's fuddy-duddies. But yeah. Also, I'll say this too. Depending upon what organization it is, if you're going to a conference or some type of meeting, or maybe there's a speaker somewhere, or a group of speakers, something small, the dress code is going to be different depending. It's always good if you don't know, at least kind of business casual type stuff, khakis and polo or something like that. But there are differences between conferences because ACSM, there's a lot of like professionals, they're wearing suits, but maybe without the tie. They're wearing khakis, but shirts are tucked in, and everyone's kind of proper. Not always, but most of the time. I go to the National Strength and Conditioning Association's conference, and people are wearing gym shorts and yoga pants and just cut off t-shirts. So it was a little bit more, much more relaxed, put it that way. Even some of the speakers were not wearing ties or super professional. So sometimes it just kind of depends upon what's going on there. Okay. Any questions so far? So looking at the research side of things, a lot of the organizations are going to be pushing publications either that they have or that they sponsor or that at least they recommend. ACSM has 2 major ones that they put out, exercise and sports science reviews. And medicine and science in sport and exercise. This one is I think every 3 or 4 months. This one is every month. This one's a little bit easier to read through. This one, I don't know if you guys can see the first one there. Sorry, guys online, sorry about that. This one right here, exercise and sports science reviews. This one's very cerebral. I mean, we're talking about deep level physiology or biology at times. So, but it's interesting stuff. It's a little bit deeper. But if you're interested in that, that's definitely something for you. Medicine, or the MedSci one, that one's one that goes into a lot of the practical applications of stuff, looking at maybe disease in exercise, practical applications to sport, exercise, physical activity, training. So, certifications. Certifications are a big deal. They actually have quite a few of them. They do have a personal trainer certification. They have a group instructor certification. And they also have a general exercise physiologist certification. For each of these, you can click on it and look at what the actual specifics are and how you can get qualified to take it. So, for example, the personal trainer one is 18 years of age or older, high school diploma, and you also need to be CPR, AED certified, so on and so forth. And you look at the price that it costs to take it. And so there you go. So the group instructor, the exercise physiologist, clinical exercise physiologist. I believe this one you need a master's degree. So some of these you actually do need a degree in hand. You can't just be a student. You have to actually have the degree. Every once in a while, you can sit for an exam for certifications, and just not ACSM, but other organizations. But they won't, even if you pass it, they still won't give it to you until you actually send in your transcripts to show that you've graduated. Other ones, inclusive fitness trainer. That one's for one with people with disabilities, either physical or mental disabilities. Cancer exercise trainer. And then this one, the NPOS. There's another organization that actually promotes this one as well. This one's kind of an interesting one. So this is physical activity and public health. So you're promoting physical activity from the playground to policymakers. So you are kind of getting involved in a little bit of politics in this one, and maybe going to maybe local governments, could be state, national, or federal governments, to try to either have some type of policies being made or funds that could be appropriated. So that's that one. I always like to point that one out because that's kind of interesting. So you look at the certifications there. All right, next organization. Anyone have any questions on ACSM? Yeah. No. Oford. The big national organization for this one is AFERD, or APERD. The Ohio Association for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance. For health fitness instructors, group instructors, this is definitely a good one. Physical educators, This is also one that is popular amongst the, I guess, gym teachers and phys ed teachers, but the ENS instructors. So mission here, keep Ohioans healthy, active, providing lifelong learning, professional development, leadership, service, and advocacy. So keeping Ohioans healthy and active for a lifetime. That's the mission. Let's take a look at their website. Memberships. This one is where we at? A little more expensive, $25 for a student anyway. For professional, it's not too bad-ish. What's senior student? Senior student K through 12 or university currently enrolled in the program, health, physical education. There you go. So you got students, you have to look at the eligibility. For an exercise science program, you should be good to go. So as long as it's from an accredited institution, which we are, so we're okay there. If you're interested in Oprah. Another one, the American Kinesiology Association. This one's actually a little different. American Kinesiology Society is also another way that people actually use to describe it. Actually, it's kind of weird. I don't think I posted a link. Okay, so this one promotes and enhances kinesiology as a unified field of study. It advances it in many applications. So, advocating for kinesiology, basically studying human movement in all forms. It could be sport, exercise, physical activity, biomechanics, rehabilitation, athletic training, physical therapy. So at the national and international levels, as well as supporting its members' departments by providing resource materials, leadership, educational opportunities, and also for university administrators that happen to have kinesiology departments and degrees. Right. All right. So let's look at the uniqueness of this membership. It does not accept individual memberships. This one has to be by departments only. So if there was enough of a want for it, I would put forth me or Jen, whoever the area coordinator is at the time, or the program director, or the head of the department, depending upon what college it is, make a decision to get a membership, then they would have to do it as a college or as a department. But it does provide some good resources, research resources. It can provide some scholarships, some help for maybe funding. There's also competitions each year for like exercise science student of the year for undergraduate, graduate masters, and also PhD. And let's take a look at their website. So event services there. So there you go. I'm sure they're not actually, at least at the moment, in events like this. So yeah. But they do have publications. In fact, they'll send out emails, digital copies of certain articles every so often. I think at least each week. I think if we're a member and I have the link, I can. Usually they send it to one or two people within the department, and then I can send it out to everybody or post it somewhere. And so I've thought about it. It's a little pricey, but I've thought about it. I think it might benefit us, at least since we are now at the Master's AT, and we have gotten OT, and we're starting that up here shortly. So we have three major fields within kinesiology that could probably benefit from it. Anyway, National Physical Activity Society, or NPAS. All right. So this one is basically the certification, or relationship to the certification for that public health that we talked about in the ACSM. I think we got this. So the NPAS. The mission here is to create safe and accessible communities. People of all ages and abilities are physically active, taking deliberate and informed actions across all sectors of society. So it started because of the vision to promote physical activity and make it a priority, embrace it, promotion for everybody in the United States, somehow, some way. Doesn't matter age, gender, race, ability, disability, however you want to describe it, it doesn't matter. Promote it somehow, some way, so that everybody has some access to it, and promote it. Physical activity, healthy living in general. And a certification. There you go. So the ACSM/NPAS Physical Activity in Public Health Specialist Certification. Oh. So it is the certification that we described earlier. Public health. So there you go. Oh, it's now available at 4,300 testing centers. It's amazing there's that many testing centers across the country. That's kind of awesome. The NPAS. One more. Society of Health Physical Educators, or SHAPE. Health, oops, minds. Shape. So the mission here, to advance professional practice, promote research, kind of seeing a common thread amongst organizations, associations, related to health, physical education, physical activity, fitness, sport, and then also dance. So dance instructors, and, the interpretive type of dance things. fitness type of dancing, but it can also just be theatrical dance as well. Which those, I was a photographer in a past life, and I got to shoot a couple plays and kind of theatrical dances, and it was pretty awesome, actually. I really enjoyed it. Kind of fun. Plus the lighting and everything, and it's really neat. Unimportant tip of the day, I guess, or information. The vision! A nation where all children are prepared to lead healthy, physically active lives. Their website, Shape America. Shape America. There you go there. We'll look at the memberships. I think these ones are a little bit higher than the other ones, to be honest. There you go. So student fees, $60. Oh, just under $60, $59. So a little bit more expensive. But again, I'm not saying that you should join all of these, but try to find one that might fit what you want to do for your career. And it might not be these ones, it could be ones that we talk about in 2 weeks. Try to find one that maybe fits you, and then try to up a little bit of money to maybe get a membership if you want. Maybe explore the opportunities that the organization is going to provide, and then maybe make a decision there. So. And I think that was it. Whew, right on time. Does anybody have any questions about any of it?
You said you were going to be up on Blackboard, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'll put these up on Blackboard. That way you have the links to them. You don't have to kind of search for them. And again, these aren't the end-all, be-all of all fitness and health organizations. There could be other ones. These are the major ones that at least that I know of. So if you have any more, let me know. If you have any you want to send along. But I'll be going over some more in the next few weeks. I think strength, kind of resistance training type stuff, and conditioning and organizations are next week, I believe. I think. So, whatever next week. Let me make sure to tell you the right thing. Strength conditioning will be next week. So NSCA is going to be the big one. National Strength Conditioning Association. Then there's the Meathead Association. Never mind. If nobody has any questions, I bet you would do. I'll see you next week. So you guys in here will be online next week. You guys online will be in person. Unless you don't want to, stay safe.